Hey guys, today we got a 2004 Lexus GX470. Got a couple issues. The speakers, I believe, are shot. So we're gonna pull those out and see if we can recone those. And then we're also having a problem, all of a sudden, the window switch, 3 of the buttons are not working at the master, so they won't roll up and down the windows. The only one that works is this window here. But the other windows work from over there, so more than likely this switch is bad. We're gonna go ahead and take the switch out. If we can't clean it and fix it, then we're just gonna go ahead and buy one on Amazon or something and then go ahead and replace it. So we're gonna go ahead and take this apart. I've never taken one of these apart, but it doesn't look too complicated. Has a cover here, probably screw there. Not sure if this part comes off here. The switch is probably going to come off, and then there's a little spot here where it has like a push-in clip. You need to push it in and then kind of be real careful with that, and then possibly have to take this piece off too. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Working on a different type of camera, so I can't really zoom you in and stuff. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and take off this little cover here. So you can either use, if you have something like a plastic piece that you can get in there, if it'll fit. If it doesn't fit, flat little screwdriver always works. Generally what I use, start from this side, kind of pop it, get that little piece out of there. And then there's a little Phillips screw, always right here. Get that out. And then over here, there's just like a little push pin. You're gonna push it in. Don't push it all the way, just barely push it in. What I like to do is on the side right here, just kind of pull on the panel, put your hand here so that the clip doesn't come flying out on you. And then that usually comes out. And then push that pin back through there. So when you put it back in, it's ready to go back in. Take a little plastic piece or something and just kind of use your fingers. Pull that out, comes right out. And when I get to this point, if I don't know if there's something here, usually I like to do is I just kind of pull on one of the corners of the door panel, kind of start pulling towards you. And if you feel like it's tight there, then there's something there. So I'm feeling like it's pretty tight. So there's something holding that here. So more than likely this piece comes off. That's a general rule, what you want to kind of, when you're working on cars, see if you could, there we go. And then just pull up on there. It's got 2 clips there. It's got a screw right there. You go ahead and take that off. And then we just continue on. If we try to go pull and we feel like it's a little bit tight, something else is holding it in here. So now this switch needs to come off. Maybe a screw under here. Yep, there's a screw right there. So when you're working on a vehicle that you've never worked on, this is kind of how I go about figuring out, you know, if there's another screw. Sometimes I dive underneath the door and I look and I put a light up there to see if I can see anything. And then you kind of slowly work your way. So then now we're gonna unclip this. It's got a little push thing here. Pull that out, get it out of the way. And then now our panel is loose. We are gonna have to disconnect the light. I don't know if this is pushed through. Let's see. There we go. So push it from this side, from the back, and then we just go ahead and unplug it. And we're probably gonna have to unplug some other stuff when we get the door panel off. More likely the handle, maybe a switch for these. So we're gonna go ahead and, now that we have it all off, now we're gonna pull up. And then there's 2 cables right here. There's a green one and a white one. These ones here, this one they pull away from you and then you take it out of the little socket. Generally comes right out, the bottom one. Most of them usually come out. Now this top one's a little bit different. You pull it out, and then normally you lift up to get it out of the socket. On the top one, you have to push it down to get it out of the socket. Okay, so that's a little bit unique. That you don't see that very often on many vehicles when you're working on these type of vehicles. I've never had one that's like that. Most of the ones that I work on are, you know, they pull up, and usually don't pull down. So there's 3 harnesses right here, and I'll show you in just a second. I'll wait for you. So yeah, this speaker's destroyed. So there's 3 harnesses, and on the door panel, they're actually these things kind of sit like this on these little pieces right here. 1, 2, 3. You know, kind of just sit and slide on there. So what you like to do is slide them out, slide all 3 of them out. So then that way you have the harness turned around facing you. Then you could go ahead and just push down on here and pull. Same thing on that one, push down and pull. All of them are exactly like similar in removing them, push and pull. Okay, so those are the 3 harnesses that you'll have to remove to be able to have access. Now, we look here, this speaker is completely shot. That's why it's making all kinds of noise. Now we know why this speaker sounds bad, and they're probably all bad. This is an 04. The bass on this thing sounds horrible. Now, I wanted to replace them with aftermarket speakers. This is the Mark Levinson system, so I don't know if it'll sound right if I do that. So we got this speaker out. We're gonna go ahead and unmount it from here. I gotta pull this foam off a little bit. So it has Phillips screws. So we'll go ahead and take it off of the base here, and then I'm just gonna quickly try to mock something up. I don't want to cut the wiring, so maybe I'll run a couple of jumpers off of here into the speaker just to test it. I want to see how it's gonna sound with an aftermarket speaker. We're probably gonna stick with the factory ones. Because these systems generally sound pretty good. So I can probably try to recone this speaker. So it looks like this top piece comes off of here. Let's see. Okay, so this piece comes off. Now I know how to recone this pretty easily. So, because I've done some of these, I just didn't know how this came off. I didn't know if it came off or not. So basically what we would have to do is clean off all this piece here. We take a little X-Acto, we cut it real close to here. We're just trying to get the foam off of here. And then we clean it all with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And then once you got it all nice and clean, kind of let it dry a little bit, then you apply the adhesive, and then you apply the new gasket, which would be here. You apply glue here, glue on the outside, and then you kind of just try to center it on there and get it on there, and then just kind of press it down and press it down, and then you just leave it for 24 hours and let it dry. You know, obviously if you get some silicone on there, try to clean off so it doesn't look messy. I know I did a set of these, some JBL ones, and the first one came out really crappy, but it stuck good and the speaker sounded great, but it was just the first time I ever did one, and it was just messy. So the second time I kind of went about it a little bit different way, and it came out better. It came out a lot nicer looking. And a lot of people make money on that, you know, repairing these type of speakers, guys. So, you know, if you find stuff like this, you can get over $100 a pop for one of these speakers at least. The kits, like I said, are about, you know, maybe 30 bucks tops. They gives you for both speakers, so you can get it. You know, if you recone these and make them look pretty nice, I mean, you can get $100 a piece for each one of these. This or like JBL. I know the JBL one, like I had that one listed on eBay. I did sell the second one I fixed, that one I think I sold it for about 80 something bucks. That one was a little bit smaller speaker than this one, but there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a 6x9, just a standard 6x9, and I want to test it on here and see if it sounds okay. Normally happens you try to put an aftermarket speaker in one of these type of Mark Levinson or JBL systems. They sound like a tin can, like as if you didn't put another speaker in there. It sounds just as bad. So because what happens is sometimes, I don't know if these are crossed over or something from the factory amp, and it's specifically for that speaker. So if we try to put an aftermarket one, it doesn't work. Now, it's different if it's on the Toyota, just the regular Toyota factory amplified system. That one's not crossed over. It's just a full range signal coming to you. So generally when that happens, the speaker, you could replace those and it sounds okay. This is different. This is like the premium system in this car. So, you know, for all of you out there that don't know that, and you try to put it in there, it's happened to you and you don't know why it's sounding like garbage, then that's why. I had a customer come in the other day. He had a JBL system and he tried to put some 6x9s. He started getting crackling and all this weird sound and he didn't know why. And it was an old customer of mine's son. So the guy came in here and I'm like, you can't put any speakers in there. You got recone these, man. Just go ahead and get them reconed, or you're gonna have to rewire the whole system and put a whole new setup and put a separate amp. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I said, well, this is the way to go about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one and then we'll get going from there. Okay guys, so this speaker does come out of here. It just has to be pried out. Go ahead and pry it, and then you can take the speaker out. Now the speaker is connected. This piece here is connected to a plug that is right here. Okay, so if you're gonna wanna reuse these to put in, say, another speaker, which is what I'm gonna do for right now, till I get the cones for these. So I'm gonna mount this on here. Now you gotta make sure that the speaker will fit, because I tried a different set of speakers and they wouldn't go in there. These ones do fit. I have some used ones and I'll put it in there meanwhile till I get this thing, till I get these refoamed. They do sell them on eBay, so it's great. So in order to get this little piece out, because it's gonna get in the way, the speaker actually hits on there. What you wanna do is you wanna take a little screwdriver and then kind of push down here and push down here, and then this piece pulls out. And you can see right there, and then there's another little tab there. So you can get that out of the way. That way we can put our speaker, new speaker, whatever you're gonna wanna put. I'm just gonna try this out to see if it sounds okay. That's a driver, so I don't think it's gonna sound good. I think it's actually gonna ruin the speaker, but I don't know. This is a used speaker, so I really don't care. Like again, this is for a family member, so I'm just trying to help them out. So I'm gonna put this on there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and then, you know, wire it up. Just do a little quick taps over there. I'm just gonna kind of mock this up real quick to kind of get it on there. And then this, we'll put it back on here like that when we're done. Now on this one, I mean, I guess we could put that thing back in there, but I'm not using any of, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and run some wire here to here for now, just because this is just like a test for test purposes. Be right back. So I'm just gonna use some T-taps to tap into the wire here, so I can test my speaker out. And I already mocked up my connections that are gonna go there. You can run the wire right through the hole. Okay, this one's ground. Okay, now these speakers still work somehow, some way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Oh, right here. Okay, so more than likely the red's going to be the positive one. I could check it. I'll use a wire here. Test it with the battery. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so I'm going to do a polarity test here just to show you. Basically, all I did was I kind of stripped the wire back a little bit. I put one wire on here, same thing with the ground side, put a wire there. I'm thinking that this red wire is actually the positive side, and this is the negative side, the black one. So what you want to do is take like a little 12-volt type battery, or you could use even a little 9-volt battery. That's what a lot of people do too. And what you want to do is you basically touch one side to say the positive. What's nice about this battery is it actually has a little opening. I could actually shove the wire in there because it can't hold the battery and hold both of those at the same time. And then basically when I touch this to ground, this cone's gonna move. So if the cone moves outward, then the polarity is correct. The red wire is on positive, so that one would be the positive, and the black one would be the negative. See how the cone moves out? So if I had these backwards, say I thought that the red was positive and it was actually negative, it would do the opposite, like this. It goes in. So whatever one that it's on, like this is the positive side and I have this one on here, if it's going down, this means this is the negative wire and this one should be over here. This means this is the positive. So basically what that does is that tells us what's the polarity. So meaning the speaker, we want the speaker to be moving out, okay? So now that I know that the red wire is the actual positive one, I just have to trace to see where that red wire goes in connection to the factory plug. So if I look here, plug that in there, the red wire is going to be on this side, which is on the left side. Let's say there, right? And when I go to plug that in, the left wire, on the left side, is the black with the white stripe. So that's our positive wire for the speaker. This is the negative wire. And I don't know if you saw when I did this, but I actually, on this one, when I pulled out the negative, I kind of looped it and tied it into like a little, like not a knot, but like a little thing, so I would remember. And actually my wire is a different color. It's got a stripe on here. So I know that that's the negative and that's the positive. And I just tapped it into place. Now I went ahead and tested this already, and the speaker actually sounds pretty good. Obviously it's not really getting any vocals in here, it's just bass, but this could be a good temporary fix. Like I said, it might damage this speaker. It might just damage the mid and tweeter on here because it's just throwing like a mid bass type sound. But I played it earlier and it actually sounded pretty good. So that's functioning. So for now, this is gonna be a good fix. So now I know if I get other customers that come in here and they are looking for, say, something like this, you know, an upgrade, we can just, you know, pop in a pair of 6x9s, you know, maybe like a dual cone speaker or something in here. and get them in here to kind of keep them going if they didn't want to, you know, fix the originals, or they just wanted something quick. Now I know we could do that here. I know with the JBLs, I've done them on a couple of them. It's a hit and miss with some of those. Some of them sound okay, some of them don't. So most of the time we don't do them on those, but now I know on this system, there's a possibility that we can do it. So that's the good news, because now we just figured something out for, you know, these older Lexuses that might come in, you know, soon. But anyways, that's that. We're gonna leave that there. I'll do the other one later. The next step is going to be to check out that switch to see why it's not functioning. Hey guys, so in some of these instances, when you unplug the battery on this vehicle right here, the master switch gets unprogrammed, which means that this button, this button, this button do not function. The only button that functions is the one for this door here. So it's a pretty easy fix. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. So first thing we wanna do is we're gonna turn on the key. And then we're gonna go to each individual door, and we're basically gonna do this. We're gonna push down on the switch till the window goes all the way down and hold it for 2 seconds, and then pull that switch and make it go all the way up, and then hold it for 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this first door we're gonna do it on is we're gonna go ahead and just hold the switch down. Once the window hits the bottom, we're gonna count 1001, 1002, net up, pull it up, make that thing go all the way up. Once it hits the top, we're gonna count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna check it with the front door. And now when we push down, that window actually rolls down. And now it rolls back up. We'll do the same thing with all the other doors. Push down. 1001, 1002, we'll go up. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. We're just gonna go ahead and program the front one since we're already on this side. Push that one down. 1001, 1002, and then pull up. Once it gets to the top, we're gonna count to 5. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay, so now all of them should work. Now after doing this, each individual window should work now. Go ahead and push this switch first on the passenger side. It's rolling down and rolling up. Now we're gonna do the one in the back on that side. Down and rolling up. And then last but not least is the one on the back over here. Push that down. Just going down there, and we're gonna push it up. That's usually how you reprogram this master switch to start working again. I've been told that on these, if you unplug the battery, then that happens. On this vehicle, everything was working fine. All of a sudden, they told me that the master switch wasn't working. Turned out that the battery was loose, because I remember the radio kind of losing memory one day. So that kind of gave me an indication that that's what it was. So that's really easy to program. If you guys run into that, then you guys kind of know. I had already taken apart this switch, cleaned it, and did a bunch of stuff to it, and I couldn't get it to work. And it turned out it's just having to reprogram this switch. So if you run into that issue, try that first, and then if it doesn't work, then you're gonna go to the master switch. Anyways, if you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks for watching.